Hi, welcome back to Weatherford Daze. I'm Rachel, this is Jason, and we are starting a new month. Yay! Welcome to May. So May, we thought, would be the perfect month to do a mother-themed series, but yeah, I wanted to do a little bit of a twist on it because I thought, what could be more fun when we're talking about mothers than to actually show how much we love and appreciate good mothers by talking about evil stepmothers, right?
Yes.
So, we're going to start the month off with just having some fun, and we thought we would also keep it a little bit maybe easier. We'll see how easy this ends up being for you. Hopefully.
The end result is probably going to look a lot better than it does in practice. Because you don't get to... Behind the curtains, it's chaos. But in front of you, it's going to look great.
Well, we just got back from our first time taking our son on a family vacation in 8 years. So we both kind of went, we're going to be exhausted, so let's plan something fun and simple. So that is...
I hope it meets both those criteria for us. But
that was the thought.
We're here to entertain ourselves and you. So hopefully both those things come about.
Yeah, but we're doing a tier list of evil stepmothers. So we thought we would stick with ones that are pretty well known, because I was going, do I pull this from all of the books and the fairy tale retellings that
There's some obscure
read?
Some of the ones we've chosen though might feel kind of obscure, and we're just gonna go, I don't know, maybe we'll just do them.
Because I think most of them are from movies that people know.
Yeah, and some from maybe made for TV or possible. I don't know, maybe some crossover in that.
No, well, I don't know what all you have in store for me. I know the ones that I picked.
Yes, and I've got I put you had a nice recipe, and I put a couple of peppers in there to mess up the joint. So
peppers to add flavor.
Ghost peppers.
Okay.
No.
I'm a little scared now.
I had an idea to call it Mommy Not So Dearest, because the famous movie Mommy Dearest, which did not shed very good light on Joan Crawford, as you might know, the wire hangers. So I was thinking, Mommy Not So Dearest. That's the name.
You seem like you're giving the inside thoughts as outside thoughts right now.
That's exactly
okay.
what it is. But yes, I have seen some tier lists, and this one has got, and I'll show it here, it's got S for super, but it's super bad, super...
Yeah, I mean, I think most people are pretty familiar with tier lists. You rate them in how good to bad. But, yeah, we're going to be rating on, since it's evil stepmothers, we're going to be giving the S tier to the most, superior at being evil, right?
Superior evilness,
F is going to be somebody that just kind of failed at actually being evil as a stepmother. So,
or forgiven and... fun and family.
No, F is they failed.
Well, they failed at being bad, which
is good. So
which is great. If somebody gives you a grade in a class and they say you get an A, in this case, if we gave you an A, it's not good.
Means you're evil, but that's
terrible.
okay.
Okay.
So anyway,
in this,
but a criteria for being an evil stepmother, overall, you have to be selfish, right? Most evil stepmothers are very selfish. The overarching thing is that they lack that maternal instinct that actually, that mothers are supposed to have. And they, a lot of times, are jealous of their stepdaughters.
Does selfishness play into maybe ambition as a little corollary to the ambitious? They always seem like they're social climbing, like they're trying to get higher up, marry the next.
If you think about it, one of the defining attributes of motherhood is being unselfish.
Kind of a humble,
from the
putting
very
others above
beginning,
yourself.
Yeah, from the very beginning,
Yeah.
when you have that baby, you are putting them above yourself, above your desire for sleep, above your desire for, I mean, a lot of times just even having your body to yourself, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing that, you know, from the very beginning, you're sharing your body. Your body is no longer your own. It's no longer about how you look. It's no longer about, you know, having that tight stomach, right? You go through pain, you go through trauma, you go through sleeplessness. You know, it's all about that child.
You're really
And that's
selling
something-
motherhood as a awesome thing. No, you really are. I'm joking, but you really are.
That
Yeah.
really is. It's a
The end result
defining
is really good.
characteristic of a mother. It's why we call mothers heroes, because the defining character of or characteristic of a hero is putting others above yourself. It's that self-sacrificial, you know, aspect of it.
We definitely
and
did
mothers
talk about that a lot.
From the get-go are heroes because they put their child above themselves.
Right.
So in order to be a good mother, you have to be self-sacrificing. To be an evil stepmother,
You have to be the opposite.
you're going to be selfish, and you're going to be lacking that maternal instinct, which actually cares more about the child than you care about yourself.
Right. So you said selfish. What was the other one?
Selfish, jealousy, the lacking
Jealous,
maternal
yeah.
instinct. A lot of times they're also, you know, they're resentful towards that child and towards the
I have
places
to take
they
care
take.
of you.
Yes. And
Or I have
like
to deal
anything
with
that
you.
they have to do towards that child, there's just, you know, there's resentment, and a lot of times there's a detachment too. So like all of those things just kind of work together to create this picture of evil stepmother. And then there's usually some level of abuse. Whether
What could be
it's just
emotional.
simply an emotional abuse in the fact that, you know, there is going to be emotional abuse just because you're not acting in the role that you're supposed to be in.
It could even be
As a
gaslighting,
stepmother,
too.
you are supposed to take on that mother role, which is the most important role in the world, right?
And it's one you just inherit. You just get immediately. You don't develop it as your child is little, and you get to know them, and you instantly you're faced with a child someone else raised. And there's a lot of really good stepmothers that step in and do fantastic at that.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do, to step into that most important role.
When you didn't raise them in their early formative years.
There's a ton of people that do it extraordinarily well. And
we give you your flowers, ladies.
Yeah,
you guys are
it's
great.
extremely sad when somebody chose to step into that role, because there's a choosing, right? A lot of times motherhood is just something that, you know, sometimes we don't even choose for it to happen. It just happens. And then we have to choose what level of, you know, good mother we're going to be. But
what cycles we're going to break in.
Yeah, a lot of times it's not a choice that women make. You know, hopefully it is a choice that they've made and that they entered into, but a lot of times the choice happens after it's already, you know, happened. It's like, okay, well, now I'm a mother, and now what kind of a mother am I going to be? But for a stepmother, it's always optional. You didn't have to choose to become a stepmother, you know? And so to have that option and then to choose to be bad and selfish and resentful towards that child, rather than to actually take that on, you know, knowingly and go, no, I'm going to be a good stepmother to this child. Like, that is what makes it so much worse.
And we talked about this, I think, real quick note. We talked about this before we were going to do our thing tonight, and most of the situations where a stepmother would be stepping in in most of the fictional things we're talking about, the mother has either passed away or died in childbirth or something like that, or from an illness of, you know, or some, you know, strange situation. It could be a magic spell, if it's, you know, whatever it is. It isn't a situation where the father and the mother got a divorce and then the father is like, well, you know, I'm feeling still lonely. It didn't work out with wife A. I'm going to get a new relationship. I don't know why they don't do that as much, but I guess it's easier for the previous, wife to pass away than to put divorce in front of children to show them what that's like. Strangely enough.
I mean, it's there. I think that, we're going to be going through a wide, centuries gaps of these stories. And I think that, most of the time at the very beginning of this trope, it was death. And then as we got into the newer century, then it, as divorce became more popular, we got more stories where divorce was the reason. But it's just kind of going with the times of what is the most normal. And I really think at its core, evil stepmother stories are something that we made for kids, because it's kind of this idea of how do you deal with these situations. It's of the fairy tale genre. And remember when we talked about fairy tales and what, their purpose is, right? They're to teach children how to handle different aspects of life.
Right.
So there's an element here with having these evil stepmothers as, a part of these fairy tales that was to recognize that, this happens, how do you deal? And to prepare and to, help a child to process when something like this does happen. And yet, I think that in the beginning especially, I find it interesting that it's an evil stepmother versus an evil mother. Because I think that, even when some of these stories originally started out as having evil mothers, they were changed to being evil stepmothers because we didn't want to add that trauma of having an evil mother and actually putting that into a child's story.
They even understood
because
that.
Sometimes that's too dark.
But they understood that even in an earlier time frame. We didn't even have fully, to be honest, we didn't have really a psychoanalyst or a psychology, thing until maybe the 1800s and after. So then the Grimm's fairy tales predate that by a couple centuries or more. So it's interesting that they're trying to soften those things even that early.
It's all kind of this part of, we've talked about how childhood didn't used to be a thing. There was a time in history where we actually invented childhood as a concept.
Yeah.
As something, as a time in a child's life to protect them and to teach them. And, it is something that came about, out of the dark ages into, the modern, as humanity progressed, as Christianity honestly spread. That was a huge motivator for actually taking and protecting this time period in our children's lives. And
kids were looked as an annoyance sometimes, and just kind of a burden.
Christianity gave rise to this psychology around childhood. And there's actually a really fascinating book. It's called The Disappearance of Childhood, but it talks about the rise of childhood, and then how, as you lose faith in God as a society, that we tend to lose that desire to protect childhood. And it's a great book. Didn't mean to plug that one right now, but it's a good book. But I don't know, we probably talked enough right now. Should we just get into the tier list?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up on screen for you all to see an image, the picture. So we'll pull that up now. The first one is going to be Hera. She is the goddess, the queen of the gods. She's a goddess. She is the wife of Zeus. But Zeus is he's a gadabout. He is the kind of guy who would be with anybody. So
we're going back to ancient Greece. So Hera was stepmother to lots of kids, right, as the wife of Zeus and
Right.
someone who cheated on her, unfortunately, a lot. But let's see, where do we want to stick her? That is the question. She was like, let's talk about her attributes, right? She was selfish. She was murderous. So she tortured Hercules, right? Basically from his entire life, like from the cradle. She sent snakes after him in the cradle.
Which he then crushed.
Right. But just because, I mean, so like, I don't know. Where do we want to put her? I feel like it's a little bit hard because the only like movie representation that I have like of her would be Hercules.
The Disney
and the Disney Hercules.
Or what about
right?
Clash of Titans is another. She shows up as a slight character in that. Kind of, she's off to the side a little bit, but they don't show her messing with Hercules. She's kind of
right. I mean, we see a little bit in Hercules, but it's not like I feel like she's not
the Kevin Sorbo TV show. You see a lot of Hera messing with Hercules, or I keep saying Hercules, but Heracles. But there's lots of examples.
Where would you put her? Would we put? I feel like she's not S tier, right? Because we're going to come up with some that are a lot.
Power to be really, really, really bad, and she can watch over. She has no limitations.
But I feel like, you know, with all that power, she spent some time in mischief, which is just ridiculous. You know, the fact that that she took out her anger at Zeus on his kids rather than on him.
Yeah.
Like,
they didn't do anything wrong. Not
really.
Like
she really...
It's kind of jealous. Jealousy.
Yeah. I mean, she's got the jealousy. She's got, I mean, obviously
selfish. She's selfish?
I don't know. I don't know that we really see a lot of selfishness. We don't really see a lot of really diabolical behavior.
Do you think we had A or B?
I'm thinking B.
We've got some
we can move these afterwards.
We've got some heavy hitters coming up, so we can shift these around. All right, so right now we have Hera coming in at B. Okay, and I'll pull up the next one. Now, I will start off by saying there are a couple of movies or fairy tale sources that had a couple of different pulls from it. So, namely Snow White and Cinderella. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of retellings and some, and you had it on the list. So this one is from...
That's just fun. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of Cinderella retellings. We're going to get some Snow White retellings, but each have kind of different portrayals.
And how hard in the paint they go. Dame Olga from Ella Enchanted. Yes, Ella of Frel. What I remember about this movie is Ella, who was supposed to be a Cinderella kind of stand-in. There's a fairy godmother in this as well, isn't there? She
gets a curse, right, where she has to obey. And so in one way, like, her fairy godmother is actually kind of evil.
Because she did the
because she's the one that just, you see a lot of, like, selfishness and, like, in some ways, the fairy godmother almost splits the place with this one.
Yeah. Because
they're both just, like, she's not supposed to be evil, but she has a lot of aspects of evil. But, we'll talk about this one. What's her name again?
Oh, what is it?
Like, she's kind of forgettable in this movie as an evil stepmother. Like, she's kind of, she's detached, but the evil one is actually the stepsister more so than the stepmother. The stepmother, I feel like, we can't put her high up on this list, right?
It's how much, how she's able to bring about this archetype.
I feel like she's not so much selfish and evil as she is just kind of detached. She does lack that maternal instinct.
Right.
Somewhat, but she's not the one that actually really tortures Ella and makes her life miserable. That's the stepsister, and even just the fact that she's under a curse herself. I feel like she's, this stepmother is not the true villain of this story.
Strangely enough, yeah.
Yeah. So even though it's a Cinderella retelling and you have an evil stepmother, I say we put her in D tier.
Yeah, that's kind of where I had her just for the heck of it, but that is fine.
Yeah. And great movie, by the way.
Played by Jennifer Saunders of Absolutely Fabulous, a TV show in the UK, and she is an excellent comedian. I will say that. I just want to give her flowers there. Next one, if you want to.
Yeah, let's go on.
Okay.
Move on.
Queen Nerissa. Played by Susan Sarandon. She is also she's animated. Well, she's animated live action, isn't she? She's animated in the animated world and live action in this world. So we see a little bit of her personality in both the worlds.
This is such a fun
from the
movie.
movie Enchanted from Disney. It is Disney's love letter to every single one of their fairy tale movies. There's little bits and baubles from all their different things.
That's the thing.
So
because
what do we say about her?
she's both Snow White's mother, evil stepmother,
Yes, because
and she becomes Maleficent
yes.
at the end, like turning into the dragon. So
that kind of juices her up a little bit higher in that.
But, okay, she's got to be up there. She's got to be either S or A. Because just the fact that she plots the death of her daughter-in-law, right?
She does do the evil witch thing too. Where she turns into. So she does the Snow White thing.
And she also manages to disguise her intentions, like Giselle, right? Giselle doesn't even realize that she's trying to kill her for most of the time.
So she's just being nicey on the nicey nice.
Yeah, she thinks that, because Giselle actually has a conversation with the little girl, right, about evil stepmothers. And she's
because
like, I have a stepmother and she's lovely.
Giselle's going to be a stepmother, isn't she? She's not the biological mother of the little girl.
It's interesting because this movie actually could have three. It has three stepmothers. Characters, right?
Yeah,
so there's this one. You've got the one that it almost becomes a stepmother, and then you've got Giselle, who actually does become the stepmother. So,
and we also have another wrinkle to that with Giselle, which we'll get into later.
Do you have all three of those on here for us to write? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, we're gonna stick her. Is she S level?
The extra powers, but powers don't automatically make you S level with regard to stepmothers, because there's some stepmothers that have no powers that are just evil as all get out and more twisted.
I mean, I would have to say just
you want to go
the
and put her in there?
Snow White representation, like the Snow White evil stepmother is just got to be one of the most evil that there can be.
And she's
completely
in this list too.
encapsulates.
Spoilers. Yeah. There's some Snow White.
Yeah. Just the manipulation. The only thing she doesn't do is actually, like, physically abuse. Like, to the level of, like, I don't know.
She certainly abuses the prince. Because that's a little more socially acceptable, I think.
Like, she doesn't physically abuse Giselle. She hides her away in a cottage, right? Like, on the Disney Snow White one, you see her making her a servant and making her, like, slave away and that kind of stuff. So, this one, I'm like, well, do we put her all the way up in S because she doesn't actually torture her daughter the entire time?
Do you want to do A?
Maybe we put her in A.
So
because there's a level above.
And we can have those discussions.
Yeah.
And also, maybe you can save it for, and maybe when she goes head to head with another pretty despicable dame, then,
I mean, this is all objective. If you disagree with where we put it, then totally let us know.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, this is our point of view. It's not scientific whatsoever.
As all tier lists are.
As all tier lists are. Okay, now. Okay. The next one I'm not as familiar with, but I bet you are. It is also another. It is a Cinderella stepmother, played by Angelica Houston. She also was Morticia in Addams Family. Sorry, I just want to say that. She's fantastic actress.
She's such a good actress.
Baroness Rodmilla de Ghent. They actually give her like an actual name. There's another name that they give in the animated thing, but this is hewing more towards the Grimm's fairy tale in terms of its live action
And
portrayal.
it's actually set in France.
And
right?
Renaissance. And Renaissance, because you see Da Vinci shows up. Yeah.
This is got to be one of my favorite Cinderella retellings.
Why do we not have this one on our digital purchases? I'll never know. Okay, we'll find out. We'll maybe we sparked that today.
Maybe we do.
All right, keep going.
But yeah, she is. Oh, she's so good. Like she's up there.
I have to do
just
my
as far as
mustache
how
with
manipulative, how abusive. Like she's constantly stealing things.
And she has a
blames
cross around her
it
neck.
on her stepdaughter. She is the one who really spurs her daughters to treat her stepdaughter poorly.
Right.
She's completely motivated by just that selfishness, by jealousy, just all of the evil.
All the things you listed.
Yeah, like she's up there. I honestly.
I would. Maybe
And then
A or B. Well, not to.
Really, I was thinking S.
Is there literal murder, or does she smack
She does.
Drew Barrymore across the
smacks
face?
Her.
Oh.
So she's actually physically abusive.
So we make physical
her
abuse
up.
worse than emotional in the terms of this?
She locks her up in the dungeon. There's emotional abuse her entire life. Like she is just so like she is the cause of all of the evil from a very early age. So I'm thinking S tier.
Okay.
For her.
So
Because,
Rodmilla's coming up in S tier. Nerissa, Hera, and
the reason
Dame
why
Olga.
though
Yeah.
is because she doesn't have powers, right? You've got Hera, you've got the other lady from Enchanted that actually has magical abilities, and yet she manages to make Danielle is her daughter's name,
right,
or stepdaughter's name, right? She manages to make Danielle's life just absolutely miserable.
Does she have any positional power, like in terms of like are there any riches involved?
The thing is she doesn't even have the title that her stepdaughter has. Not really. Like the title would pass because the husband was a baron, right?
Yeah.
So she becomes a baroness, but I think actually wasn't the title from Danielle's mother's side? I think that was what it was. So she has the title, Danielle does, and the house belongs to her and everything, but the stepmother's trying to just grab everything away, and she doesn't even have, like,
She's
it's
definitely,
not even
remember
actually
we talked about
hers.
ambition. She's definitely clawing for those things.
Well, that's the Cinderella part of it is, she wants that power and position for her daughters, and she doesn't want her stepdaughter to have it. So everything to kind of like push her down so that she can raise up her girls and herself, which doesn't even make sense if you look at it, because if she had actually just, like, she could have had that association through Danielle and gotten, just, that would have been hers if she'd even just been a good stepmother. But yeah, anyway, she's just evil.
So the Ever After story is closer to Grimm's fairy tale time frame, but now I think we have one that's more modern. Okay, this one I don't know as much about. This is Fiona, played by Jennifer Coolidge, and she has the funniest voice. She talks like this. It's not really a good impression, but anyway, this one has Hilary Duff in it. It's okay. It's called A Cinderella Story. It's got Hilary Duff, and then the dude from One Tree Hill, Scott Michael Murphy. John. They always have three names. I don't know. Michael Murphy, whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know the whole story of this. Was it a straight to DVD? It was on like a Disney Channel when Disney Channel had a Disney Channel, I think.
I have no idea.
I think the sequel to this was the one where they had where she was making it, where they made the girl sing and she had to do the work. Anyway, I don't know what makes Fiona so bad. Do you?
There have been so many Cinderella, like, modern day redos. This is one of, I think, the better ones, and it is because of Jennifer Coolidge, because she's just so iconic in this role. And, okay.
Well, she's hilarious, first of all.
She's hilarious. She's selfish, yes. But that's honestly probably her worst attribute, is just the selfishness. But it's almost an oblivious selfishness there to it. It's like she doesn't even realize how bad she's being. She kind of thinks that she's being a good mother, I think.
Yeah.
It's just she's so dumb and selfish that I kind of think she treats her own daughters almost as bad as she treats her stepdaughter.
You know, as you were saying that is making me, in my mind, push Dame Olga up to C level and put Fiona at D level. Because Dame Olga is more like, she is like ordering her around as a kind of a twist the screw, kind of just twisting the screws, you know, so there's more of an evil.
But see...
Are they on the same level? Are they on the same level? What do you feel?
I kind of think they might be. I don't know. I kind of think they might be, because just the fact that she is so selfish and narcissistic, and I mean, she does not treat. I don't even remember what.
She's also played by Jennifer. We got two here that are played by Jennifers. So
kind of like,
that's the Jennifer tier right there.
You end up liking her because.
Well, she's Jennifer Coolidge.
Of the actress, but she is kind of really playing. You know, she does turn her daughter-in-law into a servant, both in the restaurant and at home.
Right. I remember that.
She treats her just very much like a slave. And she doesn't treat her daughters like slaves. So there is very definitely, you know, a difference. Does she treat kind of everybody badly because she feels like she's just deserving of that? Yes, she does. You know, but...
We know a lot of people like that in life, or I may know some people like that in life, but I wouldn't say that I think that they are ignorant, but I wouldn't put them on the level of wickedness.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of put her in
That's why I'm kind of like, she's got to be lower down on there, because as much as you love to hate her, you also kind of love her. That almost
makes me want to. Like I said before, I think we got to put Dame Olga from Ella of Frel.
But I don't think it's because of her character. Well, see, no, I don't think either. I mean, if anything, I would put her above as being more evil than
Dame Olga?
Dame Olga.
Okay, well, you know what? That's your opinion, and you know.
Because I think that she's more intentionally evil. There's more indifference for Dame Olga to her.
I thought there was more.
But she is more actually intentionally abusive towards her daughter-in-law. So I think that we have to put Jennifer Coolidge above.
Okay. Well, that's why it's an opinion. That's why they go. All right. So this one we both know quite a bit about because we've seen this a gajillion times.
So we're moving to an entirely different genre.
Yes, musical.
Okay.
Baroness Elsa von Schrader, or just Baroness von Schrader, if we want to keep it. You know, another Baroness because we had what is it with Baronesses? But no, that's not it. What do you think about?
And this one is an almost stepmother, right?
Oh, right. She doesn't quite.
She doesn't actually make it into stepmother, but she functions as stepmother because she is engaged to the father, but they don't actually end up getting married. So, yeah.
Okay, and you can elucidate why, but I think that is a mark against her being wicked because of her unselfishness. Because she goes, I want the Baron Trump.
We've got to put her down. We've got to put her down at the bottom.
Baron von Trapp to be happy. Yeah, she is.
I think that if she had actually made it into the stepmother role, that she might have eventually worked her way up. But we'll never know.
Yeah, but we have to see those kind of character flaws in her beforehand, and we don't. We always see her as putting Maria and and Mr. Von Trapp, Baron Von Trapp,
She
above her own
wanted, though,
happiness, though.
she wanted
Empty.
the man, but she didn't want the children, which is why,
She
would
could've-
be evil stepmother.
Right, but there's no way to tell that she might develop those motherly things
But we
and
do
be sweet.
see her like trying to play games with the children.
She's trying. She's an F tier.
But she totally, she would have been a bad stepmother. She would have been a bad stepmother. Would she have been evil? No, she wouldn't have been evil, but she would have been bad. And the children definitely were better off with Maria. So,
Yes.
yeah, we'll put her in F tier.
Yeah. So she's not going to climb every mountain of these tiers. She's going to be down
Wow.
at the bottom. Oh, hey, I'm.
Boo.
Hey,
Can I boo and clap at the same time?
Yeah, you absolutely can. All right. So next on the list, we
Okay.
are blazing through these, but a classic.
Oh, yes.
And almost an archetypal, because everybody, all the way to my mom. Side story, I think we may have talked about this one time before, but the kids know this story. Real quick, my mom got in trouble with her mom when my mom was a little girl, because she stayed and watched Cinderella in the theaters 2 times in a row. And she was only supposed to go to it once. And they walked home, and my grandma, ooh, she was upset. But that's how amazing that movie was to my mom. Disney's Cinderella. Lady Tremaine. I don't get a first name for her. I get Lady. Lady Tremaine.
Lady Tremaine. That's good enough.
Look at that face. Just
So, yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's
obviously.
one of the standards. She's a gold standard.
Obviously, gold standard. She's going to be up towards the top. She's got to be up towards the top.
All right, Lady Tremaine. Let's think of give me some ways in which she
she makes Cinderella into her servant.
which a lot of she started
has a
that.
cat named Lucifer.
Oh,
I mean, is there anything more evil than that?
that's that. Well, first off, she has a pet cat.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, being allergic to cats the way I am.
Oh, hot take. Okay.
Yeah. I have to agree with our
Cat owners just go on
our pastor emeritus, Ronnie, said that dogs were a holy a holy animal and cats were evil or something, and he would get a muttering from the congregation. And I was like,
you're gonna have your own kids really upset with you.
Yeah, my kids love cats, but let's put it this way, so I won't judge, but I will judge in this case because it's a tier list. Lady Tremaine, are you saying, Rachel Weatherford, are you saying she is S tier or A?
You know what? I'm gonna say she's A.
Okay, why are you saying A as opposed to S when Lady Tremaine is kind of an archetypal?
Because I feel like she could have been worse. Like that, even
She
though
locked
she
her
was
up
cold
when she could,
and she made her into a servant, there still was levels of abuse that, like, our S tier person hit Danielle.
Okay.
Her daughter,
that,
right? She
that
was
is
actually physically abusive, and I feel
it's
like
a bigger flag, a red flag, red for
this
S tier.
one,
Okay.
Lady Tremaine, she didn't actually physically abuse her. Like, there's a level, and she didn't plot her death, right?
And that's
like
what. And
Snow
that's what,
White's story.
Yeah.
She plotted her death. She actually not only plotted, she tried to carry out her death, right?
Through
she
the huntsman.
poisoned.
Also through the huntsman.
Yeah.
She sent the huntsman out to get her heart and put it in a box.
Right.
That's pretty bad.
So I feel like there's a level worse than her.
Okay.
She's bad.
Yeah, you've got
She's
you've got
really
some good
bad, but there's a level
some
more.
good points there. And you kind of convinced me. I was going to put her S, but the fact that you remembered the actual physical abuse that she still didn't sink to.
Yeah.
But Rodmilla,
I mean,
yikes.
She's bad. She locked her up. She made her a servant, but she didn't actually attempt to kill her, and she didn't physically abuse her.
Now, this next one may actually go in the same thing, because as you know, Disney remade Cinderella in live action in the 2000s, and I don't know if they were getting on the bandwagon, the remakes, or they started the whole remake bandwagon, because then we got Aladdin.
I think Disney started the
No, what I'm saying, no, not the whole. I meant like, were they the first remake they had done? Did they do Beauty and the Beast, then Cinderella, then Aladdin?
No, it was Cinderella first.
Okay, so
Yeah,
and
Cinderella
some would
started.
say, would you say it's, as a side note, would you say it's probably one of the better remakes?
Oh, I think it's definitely the best.
Better
I think
than
it's the
than
best
Beauty and the
remake.
Beast,
Yeah.
though. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
definitely
This
better than
is
Beauty and the Beast.
Lady Tremaine, live action, as played by Kate Blanchett, and you know she can play a villain because she was Hela in Thor Ragnarok. All right, I'm sure she's done other villainous roles, but she's a great actress. So
I don't know that I would put her quite as bad.
you mean the animated one that she is supposed to be was worse?
I feel like she was. Am I misremembering what she actually did? Like, I thought
she kind of did some similar things that her counterpart did.
Yeah, but I feel like she still didn't manage to land on quite the same level of abuse in that one.
Really? Do you think they softened her up a little bit for the live action?
Like they did.
Would you say, okay, so I know I kind of put her in the, just now I just put her in the C next to Jennifer Coolidge.
I think she still needs to be B level just because of who she is.
All right.
I think, yeah, stick her beside Hera there because there's still some evil. She's definitely evil. I don't know that she quite, like, she may go up to A tier. It's been a little while since I've watched that one.
And
so
we've
maybe
got
I'm not
Disney,
remembering all the evil they
so we
had
can
her
check it
do.
out. Yeah, that may be something we could watch at some point. And if we make a change later on, we'll put that in the comments. How about that? Well, in the or in the next episode we do, you'll have to wait till that. All right. So the next one is, oh, you know this one, Mother Knows Best. This is Mother Gothel. This is played by Donna Murphy, who of course sang and did. She can sing and she's really good. She was also Dr. Octopus's wife in Spider-Man. Anyway, sorry, Donna Murphy from Tangled, Mother Gothel. Mother Knows Best.
Now she's a complex character, isn't she?
She is trying to, and she is.
I feel like she's got to be one of the best evil stepmothers that ever
gaslights
existed.
Rapunzel through the entire movie.
And she also steals her from her real mother. This is one of those where the mother is still alive, which is not, in most of these other ones.
Oh yeah, we talked about it.
None of the ones that we talked about was the mother still alive. This one, she becomes a stepmother because she steals her.
She's a kidnapper. That's worse than being a stepmother. Stepmothers, you can say
in the fairy tale, right? She tricked them into trading Rapunzel, right, for the lettuce.
So deception. That's a sin.
Right, but I mean, the parents actually made that...
For some rapun, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, in that one, the parents are actually kind of bad because they traded her for a craving, right? A pregnancy craving. But in this one, Mother Gothel actually steals Rapunzel because Rapunzel has the magic hair.
That's a softening because they don't want the parents to look that bad.
Right.
But Grimm's Fairy Tales doesn't care sometimes.
Yeah, and then they end up at the end with them being reunited and everything. But
and she and just like the queen in Snow White, she's also very vain about her appearance and immortality and aging. There's an aging thing in that.
But here's the deal too, though, because as much as she gaslights Rapunzel, it's out of a desire to protect her. Because she needs her.
That's just a reason to keep her around. If she leaves, then her golden goose is cooked.
Right, but it's also she cared for her. She never starved her. She never turned her into a servant.
She never hit her.
She never abused her.
She lied and was deceptive.
And
kidnapped her.
She kidnapped her. So it's like there's this level of evil that was because of her selfishness.
So complexity is bringing her more toward mid-tier, isn't it, though? Now, S tier in terms of how complex and interesting of a character she is, but that's not wickedness. That's interesting.
But and the thing is, though, because our kids always pointed out, how many times she said, "I love you," but she never said it to Rapunzel. She always said it to her hair. She always was like, "I love you" to Rapunzel's hair. She loved her hair.
Hmm.
She loved the hair because of what it did for her. There was never a care for Rapunzel. It was because of what Rapunzel, her hair, did for her.
And from a technical standpoint, the hair animation is on point, both on Mother Gothel and Rapunzel. I just want to say it looks really good. Sorry, anyway, go ahead. So what are you thinking?
She's got to be high.
Oh, we're getting harder
This
here.
has got to be the hardest one because she treated her well.
Yeah.
Which these other ones didn't treat her well, but she also kidnapped her in the first place, which is like the worst thing that you can do. Like, she took her away from her mother. So, like, yeah.
Are you thinking A or B?
Oh, we gotta put her in A, right?
Yeah, but she didn't do any physical abuse against her. I'm sorry.
And she
Rod Miller coming with that left and that right smack is really...
But I mean, she's got to be up to A just because of the level of gaslighting that she did in locking her away. The mother knows best.
Great song.
Keeping her safe and protected from everything, and like all of the twisted reasons that she fed Rapunzel. Like she made Rapunzel just fearful. Like, she really warped her personality through all of the...
Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive.
Yeah.
Tangled. Okay. So we're putting her at an A-tier level due to the machinations that she is pulling off. These twisted things she's doing.
Okay.
Twisted decisions. All right.
Next.
Okay. You mentioned Enchanted. Well, what about this stepmom?
Oh, we're going back to her.
Her last name is Tremaine, and it's Nancy Tremaine, played by Idina Menzel. They gave her last name of Tremaine, just like the Cinderella stepmom. Mm-hmm. She is a stepmom, but honestly, she's not that bad.
Okay, yeah, just F.
F tier, just right off the bat.
And again, because
we'll talk about that for a minute.
Almost a stepmother, and she was kind of selfish, but it was like, okay,
normal selfishness.
She just wouldn't have been a good mother. But I think that she had room to grow, and she does grow. Like, this is the beginning of her story, because you see, like, at the end that she actually goes with the prince, right? And so she's got all of this learning. Yeah. She's got so much learning and growing. She's selfish. She wouldn't have made a good mother, but she fails as an evil stepmother, mainly because she didn't become an evil stepmother.
Congratulations, Nancy Tremaine.
Yeah.
You fail at being evil, which is the best thing we can say about someone.
It is interesting, though, because of the whole conversation that Giselle had with, I don't remember the little girl's name. We'll have to put that up there. But
her name is Little Girl.
Yeah. But she, was talking about having an evil stepmother, and that whole conversation was just so good with Giselle.
Which is interesting that she had this conversation with Giselle. And in the sequel, Disenchanted, Giselle's a stepmother, and suddenly the stepmother curse hits. We have stepmother Giselle. And as you notice, and I noticed this as well, there's peacock feathers on Giselle's outfit, and the symbol of the peacock is Hera.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good...
Yeah.
And they did good with that one.
Disney's on point with their costumes. They always win for that, almost always.
Well, it also represents the vanity and the selfishness, and
And she goes through like a evolution.
Prideful.
There's an evolution though that they you start seeing these little vain elements or these little selfish. It starts growing. It's almost like a plague.
Okay. But we can't put her up high because she was under a curse.
Yes, you're right.
This wasn't actually her choosing to be that way. So
she's like Bizarro Superman.
D tier? Like she's more.
Really?
I mean, she manages to do more evil than our F tier girls, but it wasn't hers. So. Okay,
so under a curse, it's what you're basically saying. It's what you were when you were the stepmom.
Yeah, like I mean, under the curse, yes, she was evil, but she wasn't choosing to be evil, so we can't put her up higher.
Got to put her in D tier. Yeah, and because
of circumstances.
Because of circumstances, I got you. So when it fades, she's back to F tier, which is nice and perfectly wonderful.
Well, yeah,
back to her normal
I would say she would go
Giselle's
back
self.
to a good stepmother.
Or,
She was
yeah.
she was a good stepmother.
She was, yeah, great.
Yeah, like in the actual Enchanted movie, she was great.
Okay, now you were very familiar with this lady. She adopted the boy who lived, sort of. Petunia Dursley. Yep, that's played by the great Fiona Shaw, and she did a great job in this. Any physical violence against Harry? The other lady, the lady that blew up into the big ball, she called
she's
her
not
sister
as bad as Aunt Marge.
Okay, she called her sister a bad word, but I think she just sat there and let it happen.
Yeah.
So
I mean, she definitely
you read all the
neglectful.
Books. I want to hear this.
Towards Harry.
Yeah.
So she's definitely in. I mean, she's not technically a stepmother because she didn't marry the father or adopt Harry necessarily. She's a she's just an aunt.
Is he considered a ward? Kind of like Robin was with
But he had to be with them because of the family. Because by
that the
being
law
with
and how
them,
that works?
Well, it was the magic of the blood protection because the mother had given her life as a sacrifice. So that magical protection would still be there as long as he lived with someone who kind of represented the mother.
But how much they hate magic and they still let that happen? Or maybe
that's the thing. Dumbledore. No, Dumbledore scared them into it. He threatens them.
Oh, every time they hear about that guy's name or something, they kind of don't talk about that guy. They don't want to hear it.
So Dumbledore shows up and he makes them take Harry. They're scared to death of Dumbledore and what Dumbledore will do if Harry is not kept there. But it doesn't scare them enough to actually treat him.
You should be afraid of Dumbledore, of course.
Yeah, but it doesn't scare them enough to treat him well.
They kind of begrudgingly.
Right.
Okay. So would we put Petunia in D tier?
Oh, I'm gonna put her up in C at least.
Okay, because she can be buddy buddies. She can be like roommates with Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah. I mean, she's definitely gonna be more evil just because, you know what? She actually was his biological aunt. She should have cared for this child. There was and yet for some reason she felt resentful of him.
Yeah.
There was definitely a resentment that was towards, her sister. And James, right? Lily and James, she was resentful because she wanted to go to Hogwarts too, is what it turns out as.
Jealousy is
She wanted...
fickle mistress.
Right. She wanted to be special too. She felt like, they got to go and do all the magic things and she couldn't do it. And so she resented them out of jealousy. And that carried over to an innocent child.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you definitely got to put her up in evil.
Okay, so we are going to kind of blaze through a little bit.
Okay.
Now, an archetypal, and I did look up her name. She actually does have a name according to fairy tales. She's not, because they call her the evil queen or the wicked queen. That's not her Christian name. According to sources, it's Queen Grimhilda.
Interesting. Okay.
I did not know that.
S tier.
Just right off the bat.
Right off the bat, S tier. We don't even have to argue that one.
Well,
she not only plans the murder, she actually does murder Snow White, right? With the poisoned apple. She physically does murder. She attempts it multiple times. She actually manages it. It's only because, it gets stuck in her throat or whatever and, the prince manages to bring her back from death.
So Queen Grimhilda, congratulations. You're at S tier.
S tier.
Along with Rodmilla. So she's kind of winning this so far. Okay, and she's a classic for a reason. We love to hate her. In the same vein, we got Queen Ravenna. She actually does try to leech away life force. Queen Ravenna, played by Charlize Theron. She is the stand-in Snow White and the Huntsman. But how evil could she be? Because she's really trying to go after Kristen Stewart. And how bad could you be if you're really trying to mess with Kristen Stewart? No, I'm kidding. That's mean. She's probably a nice young lady. All right. So anyway, But Queen Ravenna is a Snow White evil queen. She does have some more powers, though. But do you think she's not as evil, or how would she compare with the one she's based off of, which would be?
Okay, I don't remember watching this movie.
I remember Chris Hemsworth was in it, and
vaguely,
Snow White was doing martial arts or something, and she learned how to fight. She was wearing armor toward the end of that thing.
Vaguely remember, but I do not remember all the ins and outs.
So I think Queen Ravenna goes down a little bit because of that.
Is she going to be A tier? Because I don't remember her. We're going to put her with Mother Gothel.
No.
What?
No, we'll put her B tier.
Okay, all right.
That is my thought.
Okay, I'll let you have that one because I don't remember. Okay.
So Queen Ravenna, you are on B tier. So sorry, not evil enough. Yeah, you are the diet.
Congratulations.
In the words of Dr. Evil, you're the Diet Coke of evil. Just one calorie, not evil enough.
All right, let's go on.
All right.
Who's next?
I like being funny. I try. All right, so we watched this so many times. One of my sons loves this movie, at least parts of it or most of it, if not all. Okay, and this is Selma Quickly, played by Celie Emery from Nanny McPhee, and she's another almost stepmother.
Yes.
She's like Enchanted. She's an almost stepmother.
She's not effing out of this one. No. She's got to be up there more because
Can you reword
the baby's. What did I say?
You said she's not effing out of this one.
Okay, she's not gonna get into F tier.
Okay.
She doesn't fail this one.
Okay.
She's gonna be up there. Let's bring back up the tier list.
She ate. I'll find her picture in a minute. She also ate a worm too. I mean, those kids. She got some comeuppance. She got some comeuppance. She did.
Oh, but she lands in evil because she takes the little baby's rattle that was their mother's rattle, and she goes,
"I'm your mother now," and
she snaps.
That's why I took that frame with her snapping the rattle. I got that frame. So I think she's either B or C tier.
Okay, we've got to at least because she doesn't actually become the stepmother.
Yeah.
They end up with a good stepmother. So maybe C. We'll put her in C.
Yeah.
And she would have been higher if she had managed
to nab him. Fully nab him. Yep.
Yeah.
And she think of the destruction she could have done, the revenge she could have done against those kids.
And it gets
for making her eat worms and stuff. So.
Oh, but the beehive.
Oh, that's right. Oh, behave.
Yes.
Behave.
She keeps telling them behave, and they're like. Beehive.
Yeah.
And so then they start making the bee noises.
Yeah.
Make everybody think, and then they slap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Such a good scene.
If you haven't watched Nanny McPhee, the second one's good too, but the first one is just by far the best. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Go out and see that, and come back in the comments and tell us we're wrong, but you'll be wrong. All right. So Selma Quickly, Nanny McPhee, you are on C tier. You get a C.
And she would have been up to B if she'd actually managed to nab the guy.
So next time,
she's that evil.
Next time, work harder.
Yeah.
Okay, put in some extra credit with your professor of evil, Rod Milla. All right. I'm sorry. She's the professor of evil. Okay. So let's see. Oh, this one I think you read a little bit more about.
Yeah. But we're going back in time.
Has no name, and this is an actual Grimm that we know of. If you have a name, let me know. But I just wrote it as Stepmother from Hansel and Gretel. And I found a little painting here with the poor little children and the mother, So Stepmother.
This one is I've never seen a movie where she was actually in this. And I would love to.
There is a Hansel and Gretel movie, but I heard it's more horrific than, and so that's, and creepy.
Yeah. So
they probably focus on the witch a lot more.
The story, which I had to look up because I did not remember, but she was the one who was responsible for, she talked their father into taking them out into the forest and leaving them after they fell asleep, right? He wears them out. They fall asleep.
But she was a stepmother, though. Let's reiterate. Is that correct? That's okay.
She was a stepmother.
Keep going.
So, and she basically, the only motivation was because there wasn't a lot of food. She went, they're too much trouble. We can't feed them. So let's just go leave them in the forest. Maybe they'll be okay. Maybe they won't. Like, what?
That's pretty bad.
But, yeah, it's definitely bad. Like, we don't have a lot of context for her, but she's definitely just lacking in the maternal instincts. She's selfish. She's obviously manipulative. She managed to actually talk the father into something that's completely unnatural. I mean, parents, like, in times of famine, typically the parents starve to death first because they're always giving the kids the food. The fact that they, what are they going to do? They're going to take, and they left them with a crust of bread, and that's it in the forest,
that
right?
Must be what the picture I found was the crust of bread.
Yeah, the crust of bread is what they try to...
The breadcrumbs to save their life.
They try to leave breadcrumbs, but the birds eat the breadcrumbs.
It's only the kids' ingenuity that allowed them to do it. The mother had nothing to do with the stepmother.
But in the story, she does get her comeuppance, but we don't know why. She's died. When they make it back,
and she's not heavily focused on in the story. The
Yeah.
main three characters we hear a lot about are the witch, Hansel, and Gretel.
Mm-hmm.
So where would unnamed stepmother
But the fact
be on the
that,
tier?
these kids are already basically on their own, and it's just them against the world. Like, that's in a lot of the Hansel and Gretel retellings that I've read. That's been the focus, was like that not only was their stepmother evil, she had led their father to a point of not caring for them. So they've lost everything, and it just becomes the two of them. So, they manage with their ingenuity to prove their strength, and then they just take care of each other for the rest of their lives. It's the two of them.
There you go.
Yeah.
So where do you think the unnamed stepmother would sit in the tier list? Where do you think that?
Do we want to put her in A? Just the level of the crime that she committed.
Do you think the level of crime, because yes, it's terrible, but it's not about personality and how much characterization they're given.
She didn't actually physically abuse them like our S tier.
Okay.
She didn't actually try to commit murder necessarily, but she was definitely okay with them dying. So I'd say that puts her up.
Very indifferent. So, okay, A level is because of the indifference.
Yeah.
And some of the other things we listed. Okay, so next one on the list.
This one's fun.
This one might be familiar to many people in the modern era, but we can put both of the possible stepmoms in this. But there was a movie back in the 60s or 70s, or was it? It was The Parent Trap with Haley
Mills.
Haley Mills playing the twin girls. And then later we had in 1998, we had the Parent Trap remake with Lindsay Lohan playing both those parts. Mm-hmm. And I have a picture here of the new mom in that.
Now, I have to say, the Meredith Blake one, because the older one, her name wasn't Meredith Blake. They changed the villain's name.
Yeah.
They changed from the old movie to the new movie.
Yeah.
New movie.
Movie.
But Meredith Blake, I think, was more evil than the original one was. The original one, she was, money hungry, and she was after the dad, and she would not, make a good stepmother, but she wasn't as evil as Meredith Blake.
So Meredith has those aspects, but turned up to 11.
They amped it up.
Okay, 11, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a good one to put on.
And she is really selfish.
Oh, she's
like, hand me my Evian. I remember.
And she, when they actually push her to her, because the whole thing is they're trying to get rid of her and get the dad back with the mom. Right, is the premise of the story.
Yeah,
so the girls
are hardcore.
The girls are kind of, mean to her. They push her, they pull pranks on her, and just, that's bad. But she does manage to deserve it. Which in the original one, I don't know that she necessarily deserved what the girls put her through.
I remember that. That's reading true.
Yeah. You know, she was just not as good for the dad, but she wasn't actually evil like Meredith Blake was.
Yeah. You did not want Meredith and the dad get together at all.
And you kind of go, okay, she got what she deserved. Like, her true colors are revealed. She's like, the day you and I say I do is the day that those brats go off to boarding school, right? That's the breaking point for the dad. When she actually reveals her true character, he's like, no, you can leave.
I'm okay, in my mind, I'm looking at the list here. I'm looking at C tier and D tier. I don't think she rises to the level of Hera and Ravenna.
Oh, she's got to at least be C tier.
Okay. I will accept that. All right. So Selma and Petunia and Fiona.
Past her to do something that would have put her in B tier.
Everybody has an A at the end of her name. She's the only one that doesn't. So Fiona, Petunia, Selma, meet Meredith. This is your new roommate. Now, this. I got one that I put in there. I don't think that it's going to work.
Okay.
This is the Borg Queen from Star Trek, the First Contact, played by Alice Krige, and she is a surrogate mother because they all like a queen bee. They all serve her as her drones. These are people that all had real mothers, and now she's your mother now.
Okay, so we just gotta put her in S tier, right? Because she not only
she takes away your. She takes away
their personalities.
Your agency, your everything.
I mean, evil personified right there.
I did not think that...
She pretty much murders them.
Yeah, she does.
Remakes them into her own image, yes.
The Borg Queen, S tier. All right, and this one is going to be on the exact opposite of the spectrum, I will guess. Is our final...
Whiplash. Oh, okay. This one was the wild card.
It's wild because she doesn't belong on this level at all. She's the best. Molly Weasley is the best.
And yet, okay.
All right. I want to hear this.
Because here's the deal. She adopts these kids, right? Harry and Hermione. As Ron's best friends, she takes them under her little wing. And yet, this is what ends her up on this list. Rita Skeeter writes an article making it seem like Hermione is like actually with Harry and is like cheating on Harry or something, right?
Cheating on Ron.
No. This is before Ron and Hermione became a thing.
Okay.
So like she makes it seem like there's trouble in paradise first that there's something between Hermione and Harry, and then that Hermione has been has jilted Harry. And rather than asking any of her kids what actually happened, she just believes Rita Skeeter, and then she starts treating Hermione badly. She's very cool towards her. She doesn't send her, she sends an Easter basket for everybody, and she gives Hermione an awful gift. In the basket, she gives her nothing good. She just gives, I don't remember what it was, smelly socks or something, that equivalent. She gives her a bad thing, and Hermione's just there what have I even done?
But knowing the future and knowing as you get past, that's the Goblet of Fire, right?
Yeah.
As you get past the Goblet of Fire book, I think all is forgiven and things. That's a momentary dip.
She earns her way back, yes, but she has her moment.
And don't mess with her daughter. Do not mess with Jenny, or you'll get blasted with her wand.
Well, you know what? All of these evil stepmothers have been good in some ways to their own child.
Oh, okay.
But they have the moments of being evil towards the steps. So
I would not put Molly Weasley on an evil tier.
Okay.
My vote is F.
Yes.
Lowest tier.
We'll put her in F. But that moment does end her up on the evil stepmother tier list, which I think.
Wow. I'm telling you, that is...
Hot take. Oh, I know. People People are going to argue with me about it, but we have to have something that's controversial, right?
A controversial pick?
A controversial pick. This is the one.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final tier. These are all mothers. Some of them had some faults. Some of them had some really big San Andreas faults, some big ones. So I'm glad. My favorite part of talking about tonight, yes, picking the names, but also hearing what you thought about motherhood. And I think if anybody, this is fun, but if anybody takes away something gold, a gold nugget out of that, it's about motherhood, and it doesn't come easy.
We're going to spend the next couple of weeks here in May going more into evil stepmothers, but at the same time that we shine a light on the evil, we actually will be talking about what makes a good mother good. Because, again, May is the month for mothers. So we're going to honor the good mothers by talking about what makes evil.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think that this will be a fun month. Hopefully this was a fun start to it. Don't take it too seriously. But we will get into some more serious in the weeks to come. So hope that you guys will join us.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.